Hello, this is a video where I am sharing what helped me thrive through chemo, do well, step out of fears into healing mode, and actually do really well with very gentle side effects whenever I listened to my heart and allowed myself to be fully supported from there. So to start the conversation, I'm going to bring it down to 3 points. What do you want? Ask for what you want, and then allow it to happen. These are principles that work for any manifesting, also for your other healing experiences, for surgeries, for any challenge, anything you want to manifest in your life. The what do you want, the first one, is asking yourself, what experience would you really want? And you can wish for anything, right? So with the example for chemo, it can be, I want a gentle experience that is magical in healing efficiency, and I'm experiencing miracles in surprising and delightful ways. You can frame it however you want. Think about what you want. That's the first one. And what can help you do that is think of how you want to frame it. For me, I framed my whole cancer experience into a spa cleansing into love. That was my mental description and framework, and then it was my lens of how I could look at it from in every experience. This is how my major experience overall. And so when I brought this sentence for myself to chemo, for example, I was able to see it as a spa cleansing into love as well. And so instead of words like harsh chemo, or what words that some people use like the red devil, don't use those words unless they make you feel good. But if they don't give you healing energy in thoughts, in words, which I suspect they don't, then you don't have to use them. So what is your framework in the context of what you want? To continue my example, my framework of spa cleansing into love for chemo, I was then able to apply it and say, okay, with that framework, I'm going to call the chemos elixirs, and it's a intense but powerful cleansing for me, right? Play with your mindset here to be really clear what you want. The second one is ask for what you want. And the first thing here that I did and really worked for me, and I've seen again and again in manifesting to work, is to ask the universe, this is what I would like to experience, and give it up, right? So for instance, I would like a gentle, powerful, efficient healing experience through chemo, with miracles that will surprise and delight me. So asking that to the universe, ask for angel support if you believe in angels. Whoever you ask for as higher support, ask, and then you will be supported. You can also ask for prayers. I also did that. And there are actually scientific experiments where people got together to pray that showed that they had an impact. So when you tell people what you're asking for, make that clear, make it empowering and positive for you, what you truly want, what your heart truly wants, and then ask for support, and that is already super powerful. Now your path is already opening up to helping you experience that. And look at that. This shall be a metaphor for you that all dense, dark paths open up eventually into bigger sunshine and magic, and you can experience that here on this cancer journey and through and after this cancer journey as well. That being said, addressing as a quick side note, the notion that yes, cancer can actually also lead us to death. It is possible. So if that is a fear that you have, embrace it and see if that's what you truly want. I believe that if we're not ready to go, we shall live. We live. I believe that when our soul still has things to do on the planet, we shall live. And I also believe and got support like that from Spirit, that when we connect with Spirit, we can feel that reassurance that we will be okay. That happened for me, and I got turned within, asked for Spirit support and Spirit wisdom. I actually work with a spiritual mentor that I trust. You can access this by listening to your heart. You can access this by praying and listening. However intuition shows up for you, you can also find Spirit peace and support that yes, you can and can stay here and live. And we have a choice, right? Sometimes we are at the point in life where it is our choice to find closure and that we are done with life. So feel into that. Do you feel you're at that point? And then that can be okay, and we can thrive within that and truly make the best of our life every day, no matter what, and feel better with it all and manifest gentle wellness in whatever we can do moment by moment for ourselves, and do emotional healing and mindset healing and all that stuff to feel like we have closure in what we want to do while we're here on this planet. So there is no right or wrong. It's your choice. It is for us to face our innermost fears and then come back to choice and see how we feel about everything, and then trust that everything is also fully supported by the universe. And yeah, so from that space, moving on to the next point within this second point of asking what we want to make that happen. And that continues with asking for support also from others. That was a big learning experience for me, and I found that the more I learned to ask for support, the more I actually also cleansed my heart, because that was part of my healing, to ask for support, to make that a practice and realize that, wow, when I speak my desires, it is actually cleansing for my heart. And people love to support us when they know, especially when they know how to support us, when we walk from a place of empowerment. So when you feel, I'm not talking about the needy kind of support of being rescued, but the support of feeling a pure heart's desire for yourself, and then asking for people and the universe for support in that. So be curious, and that can include your community. It can include your caregivers, telling them what kind of support serves you best. It can include nurses, and I literally asked all the little things, like I asked to turn my furniture around when it didn't feel good. They had a chemo chair facing the corner, and that does not feel good. I ran my radar of what feels like spa cleansing into love with all the things. And so I rearranged the furniture. I asked to move trash cans with chemo bins and things like that. So ask for support. And then the asking continues for ourselves. So this is for every moment that we walk, to ask ourselves, how can we support ourselves in this very moment? And this is a really amazing opportunity to practice self-love. I want to share this as I'm on this walk. Everything can be a sign and a metaphor. So you can start a new journey of self-love if you haven't fully done that yet. And that is also actually healing and part of full healing, also from cancer. And in context with the chemo journey, what I did for self-love, I asked myself, okay, how can I support myself before the chemo? What things would help me then? And it was things like preparing myself mentally, emotionally. I got myself a session with somebody who helped me cleanse fears and address them and change them to feel-good paradigms, reframing, all that stuff. I supported myself with nutrition, and I learned that along the journey it's actually good to make sure that I ate before chemo, so that my body has to do a lot of work during that healing process, that my body is fully supported. And I also ask myself, what can I bring to chemo? Simply one moment, one step after the other. I ask myself, what can I do for myself right now? The bringing to chemo turned into a really cool bag that I brought for myself, and sometimes I brought so many things that made me feel good, because I was mindful to get all the things that I needed, and that felt good. I literally created a healing experience for myself because the clinic didn't already provide that. They had fluorescent light, puke green colors, no plants, no music. So I brought a headset. I brought my own music, meditation sounds. I brought a plant that I asked the nurse to take care of, please, when I'm not there. I brought creativity things, journals, stickers, whatever I was inspired to at the time, I brought with myself to create an experience of wellness, inspiration, and feel good. I also did things beforehand with my spiritual mentor, like visualizing that the clinic was in healing light. I work with a violet flame. If that's interesting to you, look that up. And I visualized during chemo as well. And these can be different visualizations. I like the one where I visualized and imagined in my mind's eye golden light to come in from a star above me into my head, flow through my body, and fill me with sparkling healing light as the chemo goes, as the elixir goes through my body. I also visualized actually that the elixir was this healing elixir, and that I imagined in my mind's eye that was like finding the cells that are less than and cleansing them into love. So you can find your own way of what visuals feel good to you. I've heard of others who visualized that little minions are carrying the not so good minions out of the body, right? So you can have fun with this. Whatever visual works for you is awesome and actually super healing, empowering, because it will relax your body, and it will, our mind is so powerful. It helps us actually activate our immune system to do what we visualize in our head. There's a lot of scientific evidence for that. It's super awesome. And you don't even have to know all those things, but thing is that they do work. And sports athletes use them, they visualize them succeeding and all that stuff. So you can simply remember that when you create feel-good feelings for yourself, ask yourself in every moment, what can you do right now to create a feeling of wellness and deep joy? Then do that, listen to your heart, and you are golden. And here's a bigger picture. Cool, really cool thing as a heads up view as we're talking about this. This is actually a temporary situation. What you're doing right now, this practice of asking yourself what truly brings you joy and wellness and what your heart wants, and you're making this a practice in this healing experience, you are practicing doing that for life. You are already creating a joy, sparkling, thriver life every time you ask yourself and act on that, whatever your heart tells you to do in a moment that brings you deep soul satisfaction and joy. This is Kodiak Island, and it's so magical. That's the life we can create. If you need more tools to actually help you in a particular situation, feel free to ask me. And when you're in my Thriver program, ask in group calls. We can all learn from each other, and everybody has great ideas. Most of all, listen to your heart. Now to the last piece of allowing it to happen. That is actually sometimes the hardest but it's actually the easiest. It is trusting that the universe is setting things in motion, trusting that you are doing just the right things, giving yourself compassion, knowing that you are doing amazing. Give yourself a hug and trust that the universe, is taking care of it. So what I mean by that is a lot of times we can get into control mode or in overwhelm and think we need to do all these things. But as we take one step at a time and listen to our heart and simply do that and are present and trust that we are doing everything we can and need to, and sometimes it's doing nothing. When our heart says to just be and rest and not do anything, even if our bank account is empty, even if there are shoulds in our head, if our heart says to not do anything, then that is the magical thing to do. And sometimes a big call for trust, right? It's a practice, and the more we practice that and trust that things are happening, and we don't always need to know how they work out, then they actually happen, because we interfere when we're in our minds and trying to control everything. So this allowing piece is actually a big thing, and that includes also like allowing people to help us, allowing resources to come to us, allowing ourselves to be which is what I'm gonna do right now. Allowing yourself to heal and trusting that it is happening. And it is. In every moment that you feel that you're healing, that you create these feelings of healing, when you're resting, you are actually healing. So it is actually happening. That being said, I'm leaving you with a panoramic that I'm going to enjoy from the energy of being before I go back to the office and hold a Thriver call. Soak it up. Make that allowing a thing, and then keep doing that all the time. Asking what you want. It's the first one. Sorry, knowing what you want. Second one, asking for what you want. And the third one, allowing it to happen. And here's a panoramic for you. Blessings and healing vibes to you, and sparkles and peace.